This segment of the CU podcast is brought to you by Into the AM. They have premium, high-quality apparel, including nice graphic tees, basic tees, hoodies, and even boxer briefs. I'm wearing the Grand Terrain tee. If you want a little bit of the outdoors action right there, got the mountains, got the moon right there. You got the happy hour tee.
Yeah, with the tiki mug, I think this is really fitting for me. Into the AM has different collections and themes, so whatever you're into, you'll find something that fits your style. They've got space themes, animal, skull, festival style themes. The shirts are ultra soft, they're pre-shrunk, tailor-fitted, and they use eco-friendly inks. And these really are like nice and soft, very comfortable.
I like this one. This is the Lost Signal tee. This is from the festival collection right here. And then this is the Overseer tee. This is also one of my favorites. It's like a little alien outdoors thing right there, a little alien company.
I really like the line work on that.
Yeah, it's trying to abduct you from your tent right there in the outdoors. Damn aliens get after you all the time. All right. The shirts, like I said, are really soft. They're very comfortable. And Into the AM is running a bundle deal. It's 3 graphic tees for only $60. So you can click the link in the description on YouTube, or if you're a podcast audio listener, use code CONTRI, CONTRI, and you'll get 10% off these very comfortable shirts and gear. I even have stuff like the jungle shorts, kitty cats on my legs right here. Go look good and feel good with Into the AM. All right, time for voicemails, voice messages. Go to anchor.fm/the podcast. Go leave us a voicemail. Tell us how much you like us, hate us, or leave a quick 20. You can say you hate us. Just do it in 20 seconds. You're more likely to make the show. Here's the first one.
Hey, Pat and Ian. This is Nick from Richmond, Virginia. I got a twofer here for you. First question is, I recently got this thing called the Anbernic 351V. It's like a emulator little thing that is shaped like a Game Boy, but it plays everything from like Game Boy up to like PS1 games. So I was curious what y'all's thoughts were on these like little emulator things from China. They're pretty fun. They're actually kind of fun to mess around with and tinker with and play some games on the go for cheap.
Yeah, I don't have much experience with them. It seems like there's a little community from that likes them. Load up all your ROMs.
They look really nice, and we've finally gotten to the point where some of these are pretty well made. I know John D'Elia, has one.
He always has his new device, a new one whenever I see him.
So I think they're fine. I think they're fine if that's what you want.
Yeah, not much else to say about that.
This is Paul from Raleigh, NC.
Jesus.
So Einstein showed us that time is relative. What video games have you played that prove this point? Games that you start at 7 p.m. and the next thing you know it's 3 in the morning. For me, it's any turn-based strategy games, especially Civilization.
Thanks. Paul, you always try to rack my brain to think about these things. That was actually more of a straightforward one. But definitely turn-based strategy games.
Turn-based strategy games. One that really does it for me is Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl is a turn-based football game made by Games Workshop, and there's video game versions of it. So it has the length of like a Civilization. Some of those football games get really, really long.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a fucking great game.
Yeah, Civ is the one that just one more turn, and then it's like, playing Civilization 2. I lost an entire summer, sophomore year of high school. Sophomore year between, was that 95, 96? Yeah, between sophomore and junior year. That's when it came out, Civ 2, and it's like every fucking day for like 8 hours was that. Barely got my summer reading done. Barely. Playing upstairs with no AC. That was fun back in Jersey. Next.
Hello, Pat. Hello, Ian. It's Andrew from Bath in England.
Bath.
Now, when I last called, I just picked up a PlayStation Vita. The online store is now pretty much deserted, but they still got games listed on there at crazy prices. For example, Resident Evil Chronicles. That's listed for 25 quids. Now, why am I going to pay a price like 25 of the Queen's pounds where I could probably pick up a physical copy much cheaper and it won't be deleted off a server someday? Surely they could get a guy, tidy up a little bit, throw a sale, everything's got to go for $1. But instead, they're propping up the used physical market. What is it with these games companies and this slack approach to the legacy of their digital storefronts that, in my opinion, leaves money on the table? Thank you.
Andrew, you can call anytime. You're one of my new favorites, Andrew. I love the delivery. I love the energy. I like the Queen's Pounds.
Yeah, the Queen's
I like
Pound.
how you have like 17 ways of saying the pound in England.
Yes.
I love it. I'm
fun.
sorry. What were you saying?
So I don't know why they do that. I feel like if they lowered the prices on those, they would definitely, on digital games, they would definitely generate more money. Than trying to charge full price, because you're right, that does get people to go out to used stores, buy used copies of the games, and that doesn't generate any more money for the company or the developer. I think it's all based on, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo. I don't think it has a lot to do, in some instances, with the developers, because I have heard that for certain companies, I can't remember which one, you actually have to ask for permission, to go on sale, or you can only go on sale a certain number of times a year or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. We talked about it a bit before. I think the online marketplace is crazy. The fact that they still try to charge, full price for games that came out years and years ago.
Is that maybe that's an agreement with the publishers of the games, or?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the publishers, or yeah.
That's interesting.
Hey, Pat. Hey, Ian. My name is Charles. I'm a longtime listener from Rhode Island. And I've been kind of curious. It does not appear that we'll ever get a video game years from, 1990 on up, as of right now. Who knows what the future will really bring. But if there ever was a time when you all decided to do a video game years from whatever that era, what game do you think you look forward to doing the most?
What game would we look forward to doing the most if we did the 90s? Would it be something like Doom? Would it be
Doom,
NBA Jam?
Doom, there's a lot of them. Doom, NBA Jam, and Ridge Racer I would all be really, really fucking hyped to do.
You would just like get on your Namco bandwagon again and take it back up with Ridge Racer.
Yeah.
Because the Namco stuff had its heyday in the early 80s. There's still stuff in the 90s, but not as much, obviously, we'd cover.
I'd love to cover Dreamcast. I'd love to cover some of those late era Sega arcade games.
What would be the last topic if we did 99? What would be the last one we would cover? We cap out the Millennium.
Dreamcast, I think, would probably be a capper, because you wouldn't be at PS2 yet, but the Dreamcast was released in September of 1999.
You wouldn't do that in the middle. You'd keep that to the end, like this.
I'd probably keep it towards the end, because it was the end of Sega too, and you could talk about the end of Sega going on. I think it would be a good capper.
Was a Sonic game also that year or later?
Yeah, it was a launch game.
You would put it all in the same segment. You wouldn't have it as a separate segment. You just keep it all in the same segment.
I guess so. Yeah,
like one 7-minute segment of the Dreamcast. That's how you do it. We end out the retro sort of thing with that. That's interesting. Yeah, I think Doom would be fun because we can hear Joey talk his insane rants about how the game looks weird and us just scratching our heads. It's still the most mysterious, weird thing that Rue has ever said that I still don't know what he means.
Mm-hmm.
Like 8 years later from MagFest, whenever that was. That's on video somewhere. That's on video. We did our video game years 90s discussion for 1 year live, and then we brought up Doom, and then Joey just went off on how it looked weird and
reminded him of Jurassic Park on the Super Nintendo.
And we just looked at each other like, are we like, what happened? Did his brain shut down? Like, what just happened? We love Rue. Next.
Hey y'all, it's Rodney from Asheville, North Carolina.
Hi, Rodney.
Recently I've started playing some of the modern beat-em-ups like Shredder's Revenge and Streets of Rage 4. And I was wondering if you guys had any advice on playing these games more mechanically sound or strategically so that I'm not just mashing the attack button all the time. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye.
Well, usually you can't button mash on a lot of these games. It's discouraged.
The big thing with beat 'em ups is, I think a lot of people who never got into them just kind of walk up to enemies and smash buttons. The biggest thing I think in beat 'em ups is pattern recognition.
Yeah.
You got to recognize how these enemies move. Zoning yourself in a beat 'em up is just as important as knowing the attack patterns of an enemy and your own moves. You have to be able to position yourself in a way. You have to be able to position yourself so you can focus on an enemy or two enemies without getting mobbed.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of that is how they move.
Yeah. It's all about spacing and timing. Like in real fighting, you have to know when to pick your spots, when to engage, when not to engage. Most beat 'em ups are have developed to the point where even from the beginning, like Double Dragon, where you couldn't just go up to someone and smash them because someone come behind you and hit you in the back of the head. I mean, that's a beat 'em up. Otherwise, you can go back to like Kung Fu. That's a beat 'em up, and you have to even space and time with a game like Kung Fu, even though it's only on one plane. You just have to do that. That's all I'm gonna say. And don't spam the special moves. Don't take advantage of the Shredder's Revenge. I'll just call it bug.
Hey Pat, hey Ian, it's Blaine from Canada. When you decide that you want to start playing a game series, are you okay with just playing the newest entry or a newer entry, or do you feel like you have to go back to the beginning?
I don't think it's like movies for me. I'm fine with the current one. I don't have to like go back and experience the other ones.
Depends on the game for me. Something like Yakuza is really fun to play all the way through because the story constantly keeps evolving. I think for continuous story-based games like RPGs and stuff, it's important to play them in order. However, for something like an Assassin's Creed, just pick up whatever the newest one is.
Hey Pat, this is actually just a message to you yourself. I hope you are having a good time. I love your guys' podcasts, and I just love your coverage of everything. I love your takes on everything. It's really nice, and everyone who says that you smell like cheese whenever they meet you, man, like that's not cool.
Hey, Blaine, I think that's called slander. Slander, what? I said I smell like cheese. I'm trying to start here, Blaine. You're nice. Oh, I just want to say I enjoy you guys working. I smell like cheese.
I don't know. Like they say that you smell like a gorgonzola.
What?
I've never met you, so I don't know. But anyway, you have a good one, man. Take care.
Slander.
You smell like cheese and you eat your pasta with ketchup.
Slander all around me. So the next one came from someone named Chris, who did their own Amico song that ended up on YouTube. So I can just play the YouTube version because I think it's a little more finished. But this came to us. Look at the timing. Called That's Amico. So I'm just going to play the song. We can enjoy a little ditty here.
Okay.
This is the YouTube version, but he actually uploaded to us before it went live, I believe.
And again, people are like, they're tweaking out right now. They're like, oh, dude, you're this and that. We're having fun. Give me a break, right? If you get, everyone wants to say, oh, he said this, he said that. Can we have fun?
When you're fed constant lies by a weird scam guy, that's Amico. When you pay all your bills exploiting hacks and shills, that's Amico. Gaslighting calls you ding-a-lings, doing shady things, and the tech they bring is no better than a cell phone from 10 years ago. These jabrones just want cheddar.
Jabrones.
Thank you, Chris. That was great. I'll probably play it on the screen there. That's a good one. There, we'll do a couple more here. This has been a very efficient podcast. I like this. We're under a minute, an hour 30.
Hey, Pat. Hey, Ian. This is Chris from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Been a fan since the Retro VGS coverage.
Wow.
A few years back, I had a reasonable 16-bit collection, but life happened. I had no choice. I had to sell most of it off. Been feeling the want to get back in, but I'm leaning more towards getting an EverDrive or something like that, and then looking for the games that really, really matter to me and getting those back. I'd like to hear your thoughts on, do you feel moving forward with retro gaming, will more people be open to getting an EverDrive and that being the majority of their experience, or do you feel the collecting bug is still strong enough that people will want to have a lot of cartridges? Thanks. Love you guys.
I think the cartridge thing overall will die off. Obviously, because generationally, because there's less physical media. I think it also depends on what console you like. I think something like for something like Ian, little Game Boy cartridge has more of an appeal versus a flash cart for him. But for like a Nintendo, there takes up a lot more space. Maybe for that, it makes more sense to have a flash cart. It's maybe like a combination of things like that.
I think people will move towards flash carts.
Yeah, I don't think at this point it's not taboo. I mean, flash carts have been around for like 10 years at this point.
Yeah.
Going back to the original, the OG from Brian, the retro USB one on the NES, the Power Pack, that's at least 10 years old, I think. I still have mine.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can buy it anymore.
I think you can. I think they still get made.
Yeah. So So the point is that I think people have been accepting them. I mean, Stone Age Gamer sells a bunch of them. Atari Age has ones. There's even like I think a Jaguar one at this point. Almost every console has a flash cart going back to like the Intellivision.
Even the EverDrive has the flash cart.
What's that?
Even the EverDrive, or not the EverDrive, even the Evercade has a flash cart.
The Evercade has one, really? Someone made their own?
I guess it's fairly simple. I guess it just like connects a pin and basically boots you into Linux, and you can load up emulators and ROMs and shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, I bought the Crix ones when they were on sale. I haven't used them all yet, but I bought the Crix ones. They did their Black Friday sale, so I bought a bunch of. So I have most of the. The Game Boy Advance ones. I got those laying around. So I'm set for the future. I'm future proof. I got the Master System one. Was thinking about it. I said I shouldn't have got that one because the Genesis one will play them. So like why do that?
Right.
But whatever. It's fine. I got both of them. If I ever want to play it on Master System with the Master System flash card, I said fuck it. I said it's a Crix is awesome. This support the person, and I got that. So yeah. So I think it comes down to what you value. A lot of people don't have space. Talked to Joe DeRosa who hung out with. He has an apartment still in New York. Doesn't have a lot of space for a lot of carts. That's why he doesn't collect NES stuff. But he was buying Game Boy stuff at the swap meet. It's small.
It's easy to collect.
Yeah, so
it all fits into a fucking trading card box.
It is what you want, or even getting I think he bought a few PS1 games. CDs are even small. You can stack them easily and store them easily. So it is what it is.